A few months ago, a friend of mine, the fluent one, was competing in a poetry contest. The Houston VIP Slam Off. I guessed that my buddy Peter and I would be the only white people there. I was almost right. Another friend and co-worker of ours came with a friend of his, so that made 4 white people. Peter and I decided to look like idiots, so we each wore a pair of pink pants we bought at an outlet store in San Marcos the week before we were returning from South by Southwest. Our friend Vanya sported a pretty dress. We got to the event and our friend, the fluent one, was introducing us to the other competitors and his friends. No one said, "Hey, what's with the pants?" Not a one. The competition was at a cool little coffee shop and food shop, and it was packed. 40 to 50 people inside. They'd set up some benches and pushed the tables off to the sides against the windows, and only the front row was left. A girl who turned out to be the MC came up to me. I'm not sure what all was said during this conversation, so here's my attempt at repeating it. "You want to be a judge?" What? No, I wouldn't know what to do. "Oh, that's fine. You know poetry?" Well, I mean, I've read poetry. I wouldn't say that I know it. "Perfect, so you'll be a judge? You're going to say yes eventually." Which proved to be true. She also said, "You're young and you seem like you'd be okay with it, so I'm gonna be making fun of you." Which made her cool in my book. "Okay, fine. But I have a friend here, and I want to give him higher scores so he'll win." "You're saying you're a biased person?" What a brilliant response. "Yes, of course I'm biased. I agreed to be a judge." The MC announced that before the official competition began, they would have 2 sacrificial lambs. This is so that the judges can figure out their scoring, and so that the first competitor doesn't have to be the first one on stage. And the scores were on a scale of 0 to 10, and it was recommended that we go to 1 decimal point to help avoid ties. Now, whenever I do a survey, and the questions have you say, strongly disagree, disagree, neutral, agree, strongly agree, I rarely choose one of the answers with strongly in it. It just raises so many questions. For example, what is strongly? And do I really feel strongly about anything? I don't strongly agree that this ATM was usable or that this bagel was tasty. I just agree. The ATM worked, sure, the bagel did a good job of being eaten by me. So when I heard a scale of 0 to 10, my mind converted that to about a 6 to 8. I didn't want to give a really low score because that would be mean. But something above an 8 would have to be really good. The first guy got up and did a poem about love. It was a bit dark for me. I prefer more humor. Go figure. I wrote down my score, 6.9, and quickly turned it over the cool, dry erase board that I'd written it on. The girl across from me had given the performer a 9.9. And she gave me a shocked look when she saw my score. The MC read all the scores, and all of them but mine were in the 9s. Oh, no. I quickly erased the score on my dry erase board. Someone around me noticed this and laughed and said, "He's embarrassed of his score." Someone else said that they weren't able to copy the scores down in time, and I had to write mine back. I went from white boy to white boy with a beet red face. That was awesome. The score is no problem, right? I just need to adjust my score, and the people around me disagreed. No, you have to be consistent. Write down what you think you should. So I have to continue in my assholery. The second sacrificial lamb got up and performed. I liked her better than the first guy, so obviously the score needed to increase. But it wasn't like she was way better than the first guy, so logically she got a 7.3. The MC had told me no one but her would see my scores. What a liar face. People would poke around me to look at my score, and in case that weren't enough, the MC would look at me and sometimes point while reading my score. The night had 3 rounds. In the first 2, all 9 performers went once, and in the third round, 6 went. That's 25 performances, and at most 4 times did I not have the lowest score. And you know what happened more often than not? I was booed. Booed, I tell you. I have never been booed so much. Here's how it would go. The performer goes, I give the asshole guy score. Everyone gives nice high scores. I get booed. I look down in shame. Look at my friends. My friends laugh at me. I say, I hate you guys. They laugh some more. The competition ended, and thankfully, my friend made the cut. I think I'd ended up grading him more harshly because I didn't want to be biased. Afterwards, I was talking to him and saying how I felt like such a dick all night long. He responded very kindly. No, it was fine. Normally the Nazi judge isn't consistent at all, but you were really consistent. Without batting an eye or thinking of it as a bad thing, I'd heard my label. The Nazi judge. Ouch. Nevertheless, probably pretty accurate. Overall, I didn't really enjoy being a judge. I felt like a jerk all night. But it was still pretty funny, and my friends had a blast. It was cool to see my buddy, the fluent one, perform. And yes, at the competition, people would snap, and I loved it. Note, this is my first submission, so I'm not sure if you notify someone if the story will be read. If you want to read this, awesome, but please don't do it in October because I won't be able to make it that night, and I would love to be there. Thanks.